many defensive tackles do you want to have in the fall, and how many do you have now that you like that you could play?
We would like to have probably 5 to 6. 6 would be greedy. 5 would be nice. Right now I think we got 3 guys that are really playing at a high level, playing at a level where we can compete for a championship.
Kobe, Javon, and Kier.
Yep.
Kier as a tackle.
Those 3.
So who else? What group needs to come up with that other 2? Who needs to?
Well, we got JJ. We've moved him in there, and he's playing. He's a naturally instinctive guy. He's doing a really good job. MJ and Griffin Gentry, they've been guys that have been in the program a couple of years, and they're competing there. And then, we got Tyreek's in as a high school guy, a true freshman. I mean, him and JJ are doing a really nice job, especially for guys that should be in high school. So we're pleased with them. But out of that group, and then we got the boys coming in that we signed, Jesus and Ricky and Jabari.
JJ is a guy who several people have mentioned already. Why is that? What is he doing that has caught folks' eye?
Well, first, he's just a wonderful kid. He works hard, and football's important to him. He's always got a positive attitude, willing to learn, willing to work. But then he's got the measurables, and he's got unbelievable skill set. He's long, and he's got to get bigger, and he's got to get stronger, and that'll come in time. But he's extremely athletic, and he's extremely instinctive. And anytime you can find a guy like that, as a coach, you're like, yeah, because he can do stuff beyond what you coach him to do. He can see stuff and make stuff happen. Not everybody can do that.
What's his weight?
He was 266 on Tuesday. I didn't ask him today.
So is that big enough to be in there?
Well, he's going to be in there. It's it is what it is. It's going to have to be big enough, but he'll get bigger and stronger. Kristen does a great job in our nutrition program with these guys, and Jeff does a great job in the weight room. And it's just a developmental game.
I want to see him long term as well.
Yeah, I just think he's going to be a big guy. I think one day he's going to be a 285, 290-pound athlete.
How much flexibility does a guy like Kier give you, being that he can play end, but also you can throw him and tackle?
Oh, Kier's invaluable to us. I mean, he can play every position. He can play nose guard. He can play 3 technique. He can play 4 technique. Smart, tough. Probably the toughest guy we got on the defensive line. And he's really working hard. That kid has really made tremendous strides in the last 2 years in terms of just being mature, his work ethic. I'm really happy with Kier.
What has Tyreek shown you kind of inside and also going through sort of his gray shirt process?
Just in his gray shirt process, he just took care of himself. He came in stronger, a little bigger. Tyreek's, he was an end as well. We're kind of projecting him in there, but he's naturally strong, and he's a tough guy. He's just green, and he has to get some reps and get some turns and just get developed. And like I said, when you're playing inside now, it's not like you're playing in your underwear outside where you might not hit anybody all day. You're getting hit every day, every play, and sometimes you're getting hit by 2 of them jokers. So, it's a little bit different getting hit by somebody from Lakewood High School and then somebody getting hit by somebody in the SEC, Donnell Stanley and Big Zach Bailey. Those 2 guys will pound you.
Is Tyreek a guy who maybe surprised you guys a little bit, being able to kind of fit in there at tackle? And
well, that's kind of where we projected him. Thought he was going. He had a frame where he could add weight, and that's kind of what we know we got to do here. We got to recruit guys who've got frames, and then we got to be able to develop them with our nutrition program, our weight room, and then develop them technique-wise as football players.
Where's his weight right now? Where do you want him
He's
at?
264, and we don't ever tell him where we want him at. Whatever's natural, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Good Lord's going to take care of that. But I think he's a guy with his frame and his legs and his hips and stuff. I think he can be a 285, 290 pounder and carry it well.
Where is Javon in the stage of taking the next step for what you would like to see him do?
That kid had a tremendous year last year in terms of what he came in at and what at the end of the season the level he was playing. And the people that don't understand Javon or don't know him, I guess is a better way to say it. When you know his history, this guy's done a great job. But the best thing about him is his attitude, his willingness to work, and wanting to learn and wanting to get better. He's really critical of himself, and he's just a very appreciative, very humble guy. But, for him, it's all technique stuff. He's got to get stronger, obviously, because he was a basketball player, and he's still as far as SEC defensive lineman, he's not a strong guy, but he's so long and he's so big and he has natural power. But what I want him to learn how to do is recognize blocks quicker, be better with his blow delivery and block protection techniques, which just comes with time and techniques, and then developing a primary pass rush move on pass situations and a couple counters off of that instead of just using raw ability. Become a student of the game and really develop yourself in terms of your skill set and what you use, the techniques and moves you use in the run game and in the pass game.
This may not be something you're interested in talking about or projecting, but does he have the type of frame, skill set, et cetera, that he could be one of these elite defensive tackle guys, nationally elite defensive tackle guys in a couple of years that you talk about at the top of the draft, maybe?
I just hope we have him in a couple of years.
Yeah.
But I think without question, it was interesting. We had pro day, and then you watch him run around. You don't see guys that are 6'5", 6'6", 305 pounds run around like he does. I mean, he runs like a linebacker. And that's rare, and when that's one of the reasons we recruited him. We recognized that early on, and just knew he needed time and reps to get developed. But certainly, I think he can be as good as anybody that me or Will's ever been around defensively. So that when we've had some good ones. So yeah, I think he can be as good as he wants to be.
Did the scouts ask you about him this year?
I think he catches everybody's eye if you're a football guy and you're standing on the field and you see that big joker, you're like, who the heck is that? I think that's pretty obvious.
When you look at what the defensive line did last season, did they make the level of progress you expected from the year before, and just what kind of, how did you kind of grade that when you came out of it?
What we were the first year to last year, I mean, I watched Taylor and Urick and Dante do their pro days the other day, and I told them afterwards, man, I said, guys, y'all never realize how proud of y'all we are and how much we appreciate y'all. Because when you have transition, especially when you have different cultures like we had, and the kids buy in, I mean, it was tremendous. And we made huge leaps and bounds as a whole defense, not just as a front. And that was because of the kids and their nature in terms of, taking the coaching, which ain't always the easiest coaching to take. But they understood we were just doing it to try to make them better. We're never going to ask kids to do something they can't do or something that ain't going to make them better. So, I think in terms of all that, we just got to take the next step. Now, we lost some really good football players last year. I mean, Sky Moore was a great player. I think Dante and Taylor were very good players. Urick did his role. I mean, we had a lot of guys, DJ, Chris Lamons, all those guys. They did a great job for us. And, now the next young guys, the young generation, they got to step up and get things done, and they're doing a good job with it. I think they're doing a really good job with it.
Talk about these young guys that are actually part of this group now. Just talk about just their ability to buy in now that they've seen kind of the work and the progress that goes into, the success you guys had a year ago. Just how much easier does it make it to help these guys, kind of make the progress that you're looking for?
Well, I think anytime you have a culture you're trying to establish, I think when you get the results, it makes it easier to sell what you're selling, So, the hard practices, the physical practices, the off season, what we do in the weight room, what we do in everything, the way we make them go to class, everything. I think the message that Champ sells to them, now he's got, hey guys, we went from 3-9, we're 9-4, and really, let's be real with ourselves. We're in a Texas A&M game up 10 with 3 minutes going to third quarter. We got Kentucky at home. Let's look at why we didn't win. And so we're going to learn from that, and every day's a new day. But when you're selling your message, now you got guys like TJ. I mean, he's the captain of the defense. When he speaks, they listen because they know he's been through the war and he's been through the learning pains, growing pains of the program. So, I'm really impressed with the way the young guys have developed in terms of leadership. And then on the offensive side of the ball, we got, unbelievable players over there in terms of from Jake, all the playmakers, on the wide receiver. We got really good running backs. And I think the offensive line's really made progress.
Talk about Taylor and Dante losing them. You guys lose all the girth up top. You guys may be a little bit faster this season. How can you use that to your advantage on that defensive line?
Well, I mean, obviously we're going to be a little undersized. We're going to be really young. And in terms of, trying to get 6, quality guys like you were talking about earlier. But I think we do got upgrade athletically. And I think as coaches, we got to put them in a position where they can use their athleticism, use their strengths until they get to the size where they can handle it, that strength and the point of contact stuff. But, losing. I mean, when I saw Taylor and Dante, and even Urick had a great role for us and had a tremendous attitude for us and did a good job with the team. But shoot, man, anytime you lose those guys, you wish you had them back, but that don't work that way.
When you look at moving Kier inside more, does that kind of speak to what you guys feel you have at defensive end, and kind of what do you feel you have at defensive end?
Well, I think for coaches, you always try to put your best 11 on the field. So when we're looking at our best 11, we feel like we got some good depth at defensive end, and with that being said, Kier's a big, strong, physically tough guy. I mean, he is explosive, powerful. He's smart, where he can learn it all, and he knows it all. He knows every position on the front. So if we got in a bind and had an injury or something, we could throw him back out there. But he's going to be inside, and he's a disruptive guy, and he's doing a great job for us this spring.
What is that depth at defensive end? Obviously, one of them is the guy we all think about. But
yeah, you got DJ, you got Danny Fennell, you got Shamik out there, you got Aaron Sterling. I mean, all those guys are doing good. You got Brad Johnson. You got 5 guys that are good football players and they're doing good jobs.
Do you feel like you have a starter opposite DJ? I mean, is there a guy who is Aaron that guy? Or
I think a couple of them could be that guy. I mean, Mike's handling those guys this spring, and he's doing a great job with them. But we feel good about, the guys we got as edge guys. That's why we moved Kier inside to try to, get some more athleticism inside. That's why we got JJ in there. And like I said, when we get, MJ and Gentry and those guys have got to come along. But, we're really excited about getting Ricky in here, getting Jesus in here, and getting Jabari in here and working with them and see what they can do. Because Ricky's a 295-pound big athletic guy, and Jabari's 285. So we're looking forward to, getting them developed and see if they can help us. Because in this league, it's a long season, it's a physical season, and you got to be healthy. Obviously you can stay healthy, but you want guys that can play, because when a big guy empties his tank on Saturday, it's going to take him a shower, a couple meals, and a good night's rest before he can get going again. So you want to try to keep those guys fresh. And that was one of the things we were able to do last year. We were able to rotate a lot of guys. So in the fourth quarter, we had our best players that were still fresh and playing at a high level. Because when you're pushing on big men now, that's straining. So that's expending energy. So you got to keep that in mind when you're rotating these guys, and you want to keep them ready to go for the fourth quarter, especially with all the tight games we had. We did a great job of winning games down the stretch and late in the game, and that's why.
How many ends will you rotate in a game ideally?
You know what? Ideally, this is the way I look at a game, guys. If there's 75 plays in the game, you're playing 4 front guys. There's 300 reps in a game. So, really, with a big guy, I'm talking about a guy over 280, I don't want to play more than 30 or 40 snaps. Edge guys can probably play 40 or 50 snaps because they're not taking the pounding. So you kind of divide that up. So, I would say 4. 4 if you had 5 good, specialty guy and pass rush, stuff like that. But we're getting there. I mean, recruiting, we've done a good job recruiting, and the kids have done a good job coming in and working hard. And, it's just a work in progress. You got to take it one day at a time, one game at a time, and understand that everything's important.
What makes Big Sam special?
I think he's just an athletic big guy. He's powerful. He's a very raw guy, but he's long, and he's thick, and, he's a good kid. He works hard. He comes from a great family. Mom and dad are awesome people, and, I just think he's going to come in here. And I watched him in a couple of practices. He just works hard. And usually in high school, we all were in high school, you had those big old boys. What were they? They were lazy. Well, you go watch Ricky practice. He ain't lazy. He's got energy. He's got juice. He's hustling. He's leading. That's the kind of stuff you want. That's the kind of kid you want in your program.
With Jesus, I guess, originally committed as an offensive tackle and sort of converted your way at some point along the line.
Well, Jesus has always played both ways. He played tight end. He's a really athletic guy. And he's another guy. All 3 of those kids, we're going to be excited to have them when they get here. That's why Coach Champ's, challenging the guys now. Hey, now's your chance to show what your contribution level can be. Because when those new guys get here, they're going to get their chance to see what they can do. And then you just got to figure out who the best players are to play.
Is that a dynamic you've kind of dealt with before, having a lot of guys where you're trying to build interior defensive depth during the spring, but you're also telling these guys that there's a bunch of talented kids who are about to also come in on it?
That's every year. Now the only thing that's changed is with there's more mid-year kids coming in now, and different programs treat that different ways. But for us, that's a huge advantage, I feel, and we've really taken advantage of that. We got a lot of guys in mid-year. A lot of guys are practicing. I think we only got like 9 kids that aren't on the team that's going to be on the team in the fall. So we're getting a chance to work them. But to your point, get them all here and get them ready to go.
Kobe Smith said confidence is a big thing for him. How
Yeah.
have you
I love Kobe Smith. Kobe Smith is an awesome young man, and you know he is the epitome of what a college football player is in terms of being a team player. You know, he's not an ego guy. He brings his attitude every day. He works hard every day. He tries to be the best he can be. You know, you can coach him hard. He's going to respond. I just love Kobe Smith. He's what I call a glue guy. You know, he ain't looking for all the attention. You don't have to pat him on the back all the time. He's just going to go out there every day and try to give it his best. And I can't say enough good things about Kobe. He's a tremendous young man, and we're grateful to have him in the program.
When you describe someone as an interior player, are you mostly referring to just the 2 tackle spots, or do you sometimes consider that bigger end spot kind of in there as well?
Well, they're all going to be playing inside, you know, because when you're 4 down, you know, they got one over the tight end, one over the guard, one over the center, one over the tackle. When you're 3 down, you got 1 over the center, you got 2 over the tackle. So it's kind of a mixed bag, but you know, you can't get enough big guys in this league. I'll tell you that, on either side of the line of scrimmage. The game, football is a line of scrimmage game. Always has been, always will be. The teams that win, I don't care if it's high school, college, football, they're going to kick people's butt in the trenches. It's always been that way. You know, we're not playing flag football.
Who's been winning the Javon and Zach Bailey cop drill battles?
You know, I think Zach to this point probably has gotten the best of Javon, but saying that, I think they're both getting a lot better. I think they're both straining, they're both competing, and that's what that drill's all about. It's about, you know, courage, number 1, you know, 2, seeing who will fight, you know, and strain. But I think it's about making the team better, and there's a lot of energy there. There's a lot of juice in that thing, and it's a good way to start practice in terms of setting your mindset where, hey, this is going to be a tough-ass physical day, and I like it. You know, sometimes you got to lead them to water, but when they want to do it, that's what you're looking for.
Any of your guys stand out more so than others?
I think Kier does a phenomenal job because he's so daggum explosive, and he'll strike you, and, you know, he loves the stuff. But we got some guys, I mean, heck, Brad Johnson gets after people's butt. When you watch the cock drill right now and you watch the cock drill from 2 years ago, were you here 2 years ago? Okay. It might have been, I ain't going to say what it might have been, but it was a little bit different, But we're proud of the boys. They're doing a good job. We're proud of the boys. Y'all were there. Y'all saw. That'll make you bad people. All right, you guys, appreciate y'all, man.